Hello? You guys hear me? I'm going to assume that's a yes. Um, Hi, this is the first ever live stream I've done. Um, yeah, given how terrible I am at this, I have no idea if this is going to be the last one. So now I'll try and do this more frequently. But okay, sweet, you guys can hear me. Yay! Okay. Um, so I have no idea what I'm doing. What do you guys want to talk about today? Because I'm down to talk about anything. Uh, that's not true. I'm down to talk about anything that isn't goes against the channel brand, I guess. This Infinity, the Sea Lakes, not really a fan of anime. Okay, so now Shady says it, so I guess it's true. I do like anime. Yes, I love it. It's my favorite thing on earth. Um, my thoughts on immigrants. Cool. They're cool people. Um, has anybody here seen that stuff about the Avengers campus at Disneyland, the new Avengers theme land and all that? Spirit-filled ghoul. Oh yeah, I should actually read out that essay. So just for context, on Palpameme server, I assume a lot of you probably know Palpamemes. On his server, there was hey Darth Jar Jar. Uh, on his server was up the sky, my ceiling. Uh, yeah. So yeah, on Palpameme server, there was some guy that was like trying to like defend, I guess, the I don't like sand line in Attack of the Clones. All right. And it's just hilarious. My logic with that line is sure, it makes sense. Anakin doesn't like sand. Um, but like as well, it's terribly written. Like that line is just atrocious. The delivery is terrible, but like, I don't know, it makes sense. It's just not great. It's not well executed. But I'll read out to you guys this essay. See if I can find it first.
It made perfect sense for Anakin to say that he doesn't like sand. Sand reminds him of Tatooine, which is where he was originally from. He's been having premonitions about his mother dying for a while now, so he associates sand with horrible things. Anakin is an insecure young man who obviously can't tell all of this to Padme, so he hides it by saying that it's coarse, rough, and irritating. Obviously, he also has a major crush on Padme as well, and wants to try and woo her. Thanks to Hayden Christensen's quote unquote brilliant acting, we can feel how he hesitates with all of these emotions in his head.
Okay.
Most people don't bother to look beyond the surface or blinded by their hate for these amazing stories. The fact that George was able to put all these complex emotions into a single line just shows how brilliant of a storyteller he is and how Star Wars has fallen since Revenge of the Sith came out.
That was fun. That was really fun. Um, my response to that is, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Doesn't mean it's well written or well acted because there's no emotion behind it. Hello, my fellow Americans. Hello, Henry Hill. How are you? Um, yeah, so that was a fun essay to read. I don't know, I've read worse. Um, Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah. Sorry, Ryaku. I'm not trying to pronounce your name. I've never understood actually how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Sorry, but you're not a part of the bro squad from America, I guess. I don't know. This is so awkward, Jesus Christ. Um yeah, you know what? You know what, Diz? Some people do like eating Cheetos and looking at anime waifu subreddits. Don't be judging, man. Don't be judging. Don't be judging people who should be judged. Um, oh yeah, Henry Hill, the Polar Express. Yeah, that one character has always stuck out to me as like the most memorable part of that movie. Oh, I said it right. Oh, sweet, I said it right. Diz, don't remind me about Bearded Kenobi. Don't remind me. Having flashbacks, man. It's not good. For I don't know. For people who like watch my channel but are not like haven't followed my insane odyssey on Discord. Um, because yes, I'm very active on Discord, and by very active I mean I have no life anymore. Um, yeah, there's this guy named Bearded Kenobi, pretty fun guy. Yeah, he just caused a lot of problems. He was on my server for a little while. He's on a bunch of other servers. Um, I don't know. He's kind of a jerk. Um, Darth Jar Jar, I wonder why subtitles don't work on a live stream. On a live stream. You need the subs. I need the subs too. Everybody subscribe to me. Um, and Darth Jar Jar, he's fine, I guess. Um, yeah. Um, Zoom has subtitles. I didn't know that. I don't know. I'm not the smartest when it comes to this type of stuff. This is all new territory to me. Um, yes, I agree, Darth Jar Jar. Everybody join my Discord server if you haven't, because um, I'm kind of the coolest person like ever. I think. Um, See, it's personally my that's just my opinion. Um, you may or may not disagree or agree or whatever, but if you do disagree, um, you're wrong. Go away. Get out. Seriously, I'll find you. Um, yeah. God, this is so awkward. I am so not used to this. Oh, Shady, you want to know my thoughts on episode 5 of Star Wars: The Bad Batch, streaming exclusively on Disney Plus? Um, I wish it wasn't streaming on Disney Plus. I wish it didn't exist. That episode was kind of bad. Um, for those of you who don't know, my thoughts on the Bad Batch, the new Star Wars Clone Wars animated series on Disney Plus. Um, I'm not really enjoying it so far. Um, I feel kind of disappointed by it. Um, Now on Discord, I say it with a lot more like hyperbole. Because I mean, I still make jokes about it and stuff, and I still watch the show. I'm still going to. But yeah, no, the show for me so far is like a 3 or 4 out of 10. Like it's really not anything I'm personally enjoying. Um, I don't know. I think the first half of the first episode was great, and then the rest of the show is sort of it's almost like it's just stagnating. It's not really going anywhere. Not really doing anything interesting. And also it's been basically the cameo show so far. Um, like everyone you could imagine showing up just shows up. Movies bad. Read books. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I like movies a lot. Um, I don't read much. Most of my time spent watching movies. Hello, my name's Omega. No, Omega. She says like Omega. I don't know. Yeah, Omega. I don't really like Omega. It's just kind of weird, you know. Like none of the promotional material for Bad Batch had Omega there. It was like it was gonna be It looks like it was gonna be focused on the clones, and then it focuses on this, this Baby Yoda number 2, or I guess if you really want to get technical, like Ahsoka number 4, but lacking any of the charm, and actual good like character work that made Ahsoka wonderful. Um, I don't read much because I can't read. I can neither confirm nor deny these accusations. Um, Star Wars bad makes me sad. Han Solo is Chad. Yoda dad. What are my thoughts on Falcon Winter Soldier? I know some people are going to disagree with me with this, but I actually quite enjoyed Falcon Winter Soldier. I thought it was, I thought it was sort of, it was, I don't know, like if it was a Captain America movie, I'd say it'd probably be the weakest. Um, but that being said, I mean, just in the grand scheme of media, um, it's still better than a lot of stuff we see now. It's kind of decent. I don't know. Yeah, the action isn't as good. Yeah, the writing's not as good. Yeah, the editing is kind of a mess, but I don't know. There's just I found the story of the show interesting. Sort of the themes it tackles are very different for Marvel. Um, I don't know. I thought it was a fine show. It's like a 6 or 7 out of 10 for me. That's after taking a step back and sort of, you know, it sort of letting the show sit for a little while, just sort of thinking about the show. Um, I think one thing I really appreciate with this is, unlike WandaVision, it remains very focused on what it is. It doesn't just switch what it's about like halfway through. It stays on the same idea, right? I'm not going to spoil the show or anything, but WandaVision sort of, I don't know, it sort of undoes um, what the sort of series set out to do. And I'm not really a fan of that. I'd much prefer if they just sort of, stayed on course. Um, oh yeah, Darth Jar Jar. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Um, yes, Shady. I do have a point. You know. Diz, you don't. Um, yeah. Hello there. Appreciating Star Wars. Um, Otherwise known as Ben Swallow. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, you guys got more questions? I'm down to answer mostly anything, and I do mean mostly. Chadule. No, Diz is not a Chad. Are you kidding me? Ah, water. It's like drinking liquid air. What do I think of your awesome YouTube videos? Well, I do have to say your videos are actually awesome. You're really good at the guitar. Um, and that one video you made, subscribe to the C. I thought personally it was a very well shot, lit, edited video. And I think the message of subscribing to the C is very important to today's world. You know, we're so gripped with anxieties and fears and stuff today, right? The world's a scary place. And I think the solution that we should all look for is just subscribing to the C, right? Um, what are my opinions on 212th Airborne Troopers in the Galactic Army of the Republic? my friend, he lives on Exegol. His name's Palpatine, right? Uh, he really hates Airborne. I have to agree with him on that. Just you know, airborne troopers are kind of arrogant, and I mean, they kind of ramble on when they debate, and yeah. Um, would you be excited to see Ahsoka meeting Luke in the Ahsoka show? Um, in that context of it being an Ahsoka series, yes, actually, I think it would work. I think actually that would be really cool to see. So usually I'm against characters crossing over unless it actually like is consistent with what the show is, not just out of the I know a lot of Star Wars like to say, well, this makes sense, right? This thing makes sense, but that doesn't make it good, right? Um, so I would really like so for something like the Bad Batch, where they have crossovers with characters who, let's be real, should not even be in the show. Um, that frustrates me. Mandalorian season two, I wasn't at all a fan of any of the returning characters, aside from Ahsoka, but that's just because her episode was amazing. Um, but that being said, I do acknowledge she probably shouldn't be in the show. Um, but yeah, no, it's like Luke in an Ahsoka series. If it takes place after Rebels, after the original trilogy, yes, it would be cool to see Luke. Um, just as long as he doesn't overstay his welcome, I'd really like that. Um, what's the deal with airplane food? I actually don't mind airplane food. I fly a lot, so it doesn't. I don't know. I'm sort of used to it. Tastes fine to me. I guess. I don't know. Uh, where is Airborne right now? He should be here. Um, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's not even here, and I'm just roasting him constantly. Um, I don't know. Someone wants to message him, tell him to join the stream. Cool. Um, uh, have I ever seen The Kingsman? Amazingly enough, no, I haven't, and I really do want to check it out. I've seen trailers, I've seen reviews, and the style of the film looks like right up my alley. Just like very energized, just a very energized, exciting action film where I've noticed the camera work really plays into each like punch kick. Anything that happens, the camera work really like flies around with each action. I don't know how to describe it. I just really love that look. Um, and yes, unfortunately, I wasn't a fan of Luke returning in Mando. Um, and it's not really out of. I mean, Luke is my favorite character, but it's more out of I wanted the ending of Mando season two, all the problems to be resolved by Mando, right? Um, that's sort of my issue. I'm not against the idea of seeing Luke again at all. In fact, I actually want to see more of Luke, but give him his own story, right? And then just more nitpicky. I'm not a big fan of the CGI face. If they got another actor to play Luke, I would actually be perfectly fine with that. Um, that's just something that sort of bugs me. Is they're so quick to do the CGI faces and stuff instead of just recasting another actor. Which, yeah, I mean, they won't look exactly the same, but I don't know. I'm fine with that. I'm sort of used to it. I'm a fan of like James Bond, Spider Man, so I'm fine with recasting. That's perfectly fine in my eyes. Um, oh, that's unfortunate, Diz. They had it spoiled for you. No, sorry to hear that. Um, yeah, and some shots look good. Just those little moments sort of took me out of it a little bit. Um, the oldest movie I like. Trying to think. If we're going off of, actually, I'm going to break this into two because I have two really old movies I like. Animated film. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. That's the oldest animated film, period. Um, my favorite, oldest live action film is The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin. That one is one of the few films that actually manages to make me cry on repeat viewings. Um, it's got a message that still like resonates today, even though it was made, I believe, in 1939, I believe. Um, and yeah, I mean, yeah, there's the more superficial, like the comedy was great, and like it had some actually pretty impressive special effects. Um, but this just the story, the message, the acting. There's a so if you know Charlie Chaplin, even if you're not too familiar with him, one of his big defining traits in his films is he really doesn't talk. Silent films, right? Um, and at the end, he gives this big speech. Oh, Diz asked, "What makes you cry about it?" So actually, yeah, it's perfect that you asked that right when I'm about to get to it too. Actually, there's a speech at the end where he gives this great speech on what is it like? You know, how basically powerful people will turn everyone against each other, and how you basically turn yourself into a machine. You know, the whole machine mans with machine minds and machine hearts. Um, yeah, you're not machines, you're a man. And all that. I love that scene. Oh my god, um, that right there is Chaplin, not the character of the Jewish barber he plays. Um, that's Chaplin talking. That's his worldview coming through, and that speaks to me personally because yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I don't think anyone should be divided by powerful people, right? We should all find a common good, right? We all have universal standards of morality, right? So we should go off of that, and then the more superficial things we should civilly discussed. Right? We shouldn't attack each other. We should just sort of discuss them, unless you like the Star Wars prequels. But that's a whole side note. Um, yeah, I agree. Ryaku, best speech period. That is one of my favorite in movies. There's whenever there's a speech and stuff, that is probably my favorite speech. Probably up there with the speech that Captain America gives in The Winter Soldier just before they take down the helicarriers because that was awesome. Favorite Marvel and DC characters. DC, it's actually kind of a short list. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash. Um, I'm a very casual DC fan. Um, Marvel, though, when I was younger, I like the X Men Fantastic Four a lot. I've been waiting my entire life for a good Fantastic Four movie. Um, but now, of course, with the MCU, right, it's sort of give me another angle on things, showing me interpretations of characters that I originally thought weren't the most exciting. Um, I was one of like I think I was like one of five people on Earth that knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before their movie. Um, so I was very excited. Um, I was very excited for Guardians when I saw the trailer. I think it's 2013. I saw that. I was like, oh my god, they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. What the hell? That was a really exciting experience for me, just to seeing how they're getting really experimental and weird with their movies, right? Um, and by James Gunn too. At the time, I really hadn't known about James Gunn's work, but now I look back, and yeah, no, he's a crazy writer. That's for sure. He's fantastic. Um, so Marvel, I could actually say every single Avenger that appeared in Endgame. I could actually say that because the amount of work they put into characters is just phenomenal. Um, I'm a little late on comments here. Um, Speeches in Lord of the Rings. Yes, Raikou. Lord of the Rings speeches. You know, by all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand, men of the West. I love that. I love that speech at the end of Return of the King. Oh my god. Um, Lord of the Rings has some killer speeches. Yeah. Diz, thoughts on Fat Four Stick? Um, you already know it. I don't want to. I don't want to make this stream PG-13 or R by the language I use when I describe that movie. I don't want to. I don't want to. Because my how I view that movie is I'm trying to find an analogy that wouldn't get my content flagged. Um, Jeez, it's like they took something I loved and did everything in their power to undo that. Like trying to say it in like not as brutal of a fashion, but yeah, I really think they just undid everything that made the Fantastic Four special, and that's just sort of the color, the adventure, the fun. They tried to make it this dark, serious, brooding, Batman Begins knockoff, I guess, but that's insulting Batman Begins because that's a good movie. This was like this is a mess. None of it was good. Um, I read much of the comics as well as the films. I used to read more comics. Yes, I was a fan when I was younger. Um, my school library actually had some comics, surprisingly enough, for sale every now and then. Um, so that was really cool. Um, yeah, and then whenever I go like public libraries and stuff, comics first thing I go to. Um, those were always really cool. I used to really love, and of course, Spider Man was the mainstay character for me. Always loved Spider Man for as long as I can remember. Um, then yeah, X Men, Fantastic Four, um, Batman. Out of the DC characters, Batman's easily my favorite. Um, I think out of all the, I actually kind of feel like Batman's almost more of a Marvel character in the sense that like I guess in sort of the style they went with the MCU, he feels more like something out of the MCU than something out of DC, where people are just like born as like gods and stuff. And then Marvel is like you have superheroes that are either just regular people that just train a lot, or they make equipment to help them. Sometimes they're naturally gifted, like Thor, or something like Captain Marvel, where there's like some sort of freak accident, or Spider Man. Yeah, I think Batman's just a really well-rounded character. Is I don't think SpongeBob is a racist. I never thought I'd say that in my life, but no, I don't think SpongeBob is a racist. He's surrounded by multiple different species of fish, treats them all equally. Jeez. Do I think Star Wars is heading in the right direction? No. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciating Star Wars. It's great having you here. Um, Bob Sponge, yeah. I don't think Star Wars is going in the right direction. I think the right direction would just be at this point, people will say, give me something good, but I'm just like, give us something new. Because at least with something new, it's hit or miss, right? You're either going to get something good or something bad. If it's the same thing again, well, it's going to be mediocre. And I prefer to have the creatives at Lucasfilm try. I can appreciate a swing and a miss. What I don't appreciate at all is no swing at all and just leaving the entire baseball court and going home and then being praised at home for, oh, you tried so hard, even though the player who this analogy went way too far. Um, my you guys probably get my point though. I don't think we should praise Lucasfilm and Disney when they any creative ever. I don't think we should ever just praise them for not trying anything new. Um, just because something is consistent doesn't make it good. Um, just because something is fan servicey doesn't make it good. Um, yeah, I don't know. Did I say baseball court? Oh, right, you're a baseball fan. All right. Well, if I disappear tonight, it's because of Diz. Um, yeah, he has SEAL Team 6 coming to my house. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Star Wars really needs to focus on just trying something new. That's what it really needs to do right now, because at least with that, it's a mixed bag in what we're going to get, right? We could either get something good or bad, and I would take that over nothing. Would I rather have a Ryan trilogy or an Abrams trilogy? Ryan, easily. Easily. Regardless, so just to get this out of the way, my thoughts on The Last Jedi, I defended a lot, right? Um, I defended a lot, and I trashed on the prequels a lot, but my thoughts are far more balanced. My thoughts on The Last Jedi are very mixed. I don't think it's the greatest Star Wars film. Um, I think overall the sequel trilogy is very mixed. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad. There are moments where I think they shouldn't have even included it. Their entire character arcs, I think they did completely wrong. Their characters, I'd say they even ruined. But nonetheless, I can at least appreciate that Ryan Johnson was willing to take something we're so familiar with, especially a character like Luke, um, and actually try and give him something new to do. J.J. Abrams, on the other hand, is the one to make a story where Leia is once again a rebellion leader. Han Solo's a smuggler again. The Empire is back. The rebellion is back. That's J.J. Abrams. Ryan Johnson is, let's show a completely different angle of the Star Wars universe. And I would take that different angle of the Star Wars universe easily. I mean, yeah, it's more interesting. Oh, there's Airborne. Yeah. Oh, the JJ hater. Yeah. Yeah, J.J. Abrams. My thoughts on him through watching the Star Wars Apocrypha video that Airborne told me about. Um, yeah, I'm not that big a fan of J.J. Abrams. I guess because of that. I mean, I was with Abrams. I just sort of think he's a mediocre director. I like his visual style. I'm not a big fan of his storytelling style, though. And the visual style, a grain of salt. There's some things I don't like, right? The incessant lens flares kind of annoy me. Um, but yeah, um, yeah. Uh, Talking about sports, how do you feel about soccer and Formula One? Um, I don't watch either. I probably disappointing a lot of sports fans by saying this, but I don't really follow sports. Um, I don't even really do sport. I used to do martial arts when I was younger, and then I did like kickboxing and stuff, and then a couple years working out at the gym. But I haven't really done that in a while either, so I just walk now. So I don't even do sports. I don't know. I think I did soccer when I was like 5, but I don't really remember that. What are stories but mystery boxes, Airborne? Yes, stories are mystery boxes. For those of you who don't know, J.J. Abrams loves these little mystery box things where he sets up something and then has absolutely no plans for following through on those plans. Yeah, it's the definition of like starting a joke and then just never saying anything and just moving on with your day. It's very unsatisfying, right? Now imagine that with a movie. Um, he just lets other people take care of it. Everyone did soccer as a kid. That means nothing. Okay, you got me. You got me. Um, just going back up in the comments. Last Jedi grew on me, becoming better than Rise. I just kind of want Rise erased. Sokatana. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the Rise of Skywalker for me. I came out of it. You can actually find it on my channel. I actually reviewed the Rise of Skywalker after I came home from seeing it. I thought it was uh I thought it was hard to say. I thought it was good, and then I look back on it now. Actually, afterwards, then I sort of looked at it as that's pretty bad, and then I have the thought of this is so stupid. I can't help but love it. It's I don't know. It's hard for me to describe it. I genuinely like the movie partially because of how insane it is. I can't help but laugh at like half the movie. Um, his reputation is really makes decent projects. Semi 3, TFA, Star Trek, and Darkness. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. J.J. Abrams, because of how much money he's made, the amount of J.J. Abrams was great at one thing. Yeah, it's getting butts in the seats of theaters, right? Um, so yeah, it's he's going to be hired again. He's going to keep working on films from now until the end of time. They're going to figure out some way to like cryogenically freeze his head, like they did apparently with Walt Disney. Um, you know, except they'll actually do it because that's a myth. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too big on J.J. Abrams. Um, I haven't seen Mission Impossible 3 in forever, so am I God fearing? No, I'm actually not religious. I'm sort of agnostic. I'm sort of neutral on everything. I don't know. Um, can't wait till J.J. Abrams makes a reboot of The Force Awakens. I mean, yeah, I can see it. We've seen reboots of reboots before. We're definitely going to see it again. All it's going to take is for Star Wars to make less money, and they're going to try and reboot it. So they're going to reboot the reboot eventually. That's a horrifying thought. I don't want Star Wars rebooted. I would actually be very upset if they did that. Um, unless they were to go sort of the what is it, like the Galaxy of Adventures shorts on YouTube. Which, if you haven't checked those Galaxy of Adventure shorts out, check them out. They're pretty awesome. Um, it's kind of like a Star Wars anime. And Shady and Diz, shut your mouth. Stop touching your friggin' keyboard. Um, I know what you're gonna say about anime. Um, yeah, I think those Galaxy Adventure shorts are a really good direction in terms of just sort of trying something out in terms of the visual style, something on a smaller scale. If they were to make a show, like a full on series like Galaxy Adventures, I'd actually be very happy with that. Um, that being said, if they were to reboot the series, I'd be very upset. What's my favorite country? As in a place I want to visit. Um, so, that's a tricky question. Hmm, probably like there's a bunch. I think Italy, Spain, Switzerland, um, Morocco. I think that'd be cool. Egypt, um, Kuwait would be pretty cool. Japan, China, Hong Kong. Um, oh geez, I'm gonna disappear. I said them as separate things. Oh geez, the Chinese government's coming after me. Um, Singapore would be really cool to go to. I'd love to go to Singapore. Australia, New Zealand, those would be awesome to go to. Um, where else? Brazil. I'd like to go to Brazil. Um, I think that'd be really cool to go to somewhere South America. That'd be pretty cool. Um, yeah, I think those are the countries I want to visit the most. Out of places that I haven't been to before, I think those would be cool. Oh, so you've been to Morocco twice. That's cool. Yeah, I've seen pictures. It looks like a beautiful country. You thought the sequel trilogy was a successful continuation of the story. Get ready for the sequel trilogy. Yeah, they're definitely going to do a sequel trilogy someday. In the direction Star Wars is going now, it's just going to be the same characters forever, right? We're gonna get the same ones, and we get nothing new. This is making me sad. Um, they are rebooting that old dumpster from across the street into a Star Wars movie. That was The Rise of Skywalker. Would you want a Would you want a trilogy? Not necessarily for the legacy of Rey, but still depict a continuation of the Disney trilogy. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like later on in life, even if they recast it, I think it'd be cool if they did like um, if they did where like Ray is old and they recast her with some older actress. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Um, maybe show like a very different Star Wars galaxy where things have radically changed. Who knows? I mean, it, with constant war breaking out in a brief, if we go off the Star Wars timeline, right? There was before, before Phantom Menace, there was like thousands of years of peace, and then after the Phantom Menace, it's just war. I think it'd be really cool if, like, because of that, there's going to be some new crazy thing in the galaxy. I just think they really could do some cool things if they try something interesting aside from just staying the same Empire Rebellion dynamic. Um, yeah, if they expand from there, try something new, I think that'd be really cool. Um, okay, I've been to other countries. Yep, countries I've visited. Hmm. So, hmm. If I go off like cities, I guess, like if I go off cities, excluding where I live, um, been all over Florida, I guess. I don't know, like U.S., Canada, Mexico, Bahamas, Haiti. I was a baby when I went to Haiti though, so I don't remember any of that. Um, Bahamas. Actually, that might be everywhere I've been to. Oh crap! Okay, I gotta travel more. South Korea was pretty cool to visit. I have a friend who's actually from South Korea. He told me it's very cool. He visits family there every couple of years. Um, yeah, I'd like to check out South Korea. I know my uncle lived there for a couple of years. Uh, make a trilogy starring Baby Rancor, CGI Luke, and Trace and Ruff as the main leads. Airborne, I hate you. This is why Palpatine hates you. All right, this is why I hate you. Okay, you suck. Right? You trying to make me mad. You trying to make me mad here. What? You want to piss me off? Go ahead, piss me off. You and me, let's fight. All right, all right. Um, next trilogy better have a Gonk droid as the main character. Um, yes, Canada, France, Spain, and the UK. Hopefully, hoping to go to Italy and Japan. That's cool. I've never been to Europe. I'd like to go to Europe. Jar Jar and Gonk are Sith Lords. Actually, yes, we have confirmation of that. So remember earlier, Darth Jar Jar was on here. So obviously he's a bad guy. Um, go ahead, piss me off. Oh yeah. Ah, I didn't even make that connection. Denmark. Denmark would be cool to visit actually. Um, I'd go there, find where Turf lives, and make fun of him for being a ginger. Um, that'd be fun. And for any gingers out there, don't be offended. I got family members that are ginger. I bully them for that, but you know, I guess it makes it a little less bad. Um, Airborne, is that your response for everything? I don't know. I thought I had bad jokes. Denmark. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. It's more interesting. Um, yeah. Um, Denmark. Well, see, that's not true. I can't really say anything because I'm not the brightest person ever. But like, Airborne. Come on, man. I guess the Bad Batch has really lived up to its name. Uh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even. Okay. I know I've said it's bad, really very bad before. Um, I might have to retract that and sort of just say it's overwhelmingly mediocre. Like I said this in a voice chat recently. I don't think it's like I don't think it's offensive. I don't think it's like technically horrible. In fact, the animation and music are just amazing. The voice acting from D. Bradley Baker is insane. I completely forget like how I completely forget that he's playing the same character like 5 times over. Right? He's playing 5 different characters in the show, but they all sound distinct. I find that very impressive. There are things to like in the Bad Batch, but the actual show itself is so mediocre, just counterbalanced with everything else. The reintroduction of characters that shouldn't be there. Um, it's just its general obsession with trying to it's just trying to remind us, hey, this is Star Wars. You like Star Wars, right? Like from the outset, the first episode, they show us characters that really shouldn't even been there, which actually apparently retconned another story. Like they just shouldn't do that. Just make a new character. There's no need to reintroduce a character like that. Um, I don't know. I'm just yeah, I agree with Ahsoka. Like episode one was a strong start. The rest was very average. I really like the first episode, especially the first half. I think that was all really good. And it was just interesting to have one of the Bad Batch members leave and then sort of the Empire and then, like hunt them down, like try and hunt them down basically. That's interesting. I'd like it if they cut back to that more instead of returning characters and fan service and just very lazy plots. Um, yeah, it's just, yeah, exactly. It's shrinking the universe. It's shrinking the universe. It's, this show. I made a connection earlier. I'm not going to go into who appears in the show in case anyone, because I mean, if I personally don't enjoy it, you can still watch it. You can still enjoy it. I hope you do. I hope you do enjoy it if you watch it. Like I hope you can take something away where you actually found it enjoyable because I personally can't find it too enjoyable. Um, but I don't want to spoil that. So I made the connection earlier that this show basically makes it so every character in the series is a degree off from knowing each other. Like they're actual, like everyone basically knows each other through another mutual person, right? Um, which isn't unrealistic, right? Um, if we want to get technical, um, I guess if we want to get technical, I have a mutual, sort of through. I'm like a degree off, I guess, from knowing Stephen Hawking. I'm a degree off from knowing Stephen Hawking. Technically, someone I know did a project with him years and years and years ago. Um, but that doesn't mean we should have it so every character knows everybody being a degree off. That's one. It's one famous person, so it's weird to have it where it's like everyone knows each other. Um, the Bad Batch have committed many more crimes, but cannot be held responsible due to its mutations, countering its mental disabilities. Eh, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that stuff. Um, which can I just actually that sort of makes me think a little bit now. The Bad Batch are this elite clone force with like a what is it like 100% success rate. They're like insane. They're like the A team of Star Wars. They're like complete Ninja Turtle badasses who can do any mission out there, right? Yet they constantly get captured, crash land, get defeated by seemingly basic enemies. Um, they got defeated by like a bounty hunter, just a regular bounty hunter. These dudes fought in a war. Isn't that a little strange? They lost to one bounty hunter, but they're soldiers and they fought multiple people up, or multiple droids at once. Yeah, droids aren't humans, but it's still weird that they have so much experience in combat, um, and against some really crazy droids too. And like, we can only imagine over the course of the 3 years of the Clone Wars, um, they would have a lot of experience, especially since they've been programmed from birth to be able to fight. Right? They should be able to win in a fight against one bounty hunter. They shouldn't be outsmarted by one. I don't understand that logic. It doesn't make much sense to me. Um, Baby Rancor Star Wars story, Big Rancor, 10 season TV show coming to Disney Plus. No, no. No. They're probably the most competent fighting force in the clone army, and yet apparently they get their asses handed to them. That's exactly what it is. It's seriously, you'd actually be really, if you watch the show and you like think of that, it really sort of ruins the idea that like it really ruins the idea that they're these elite fighters. Doesn't make much sense. Um, okay, so maybe all this Rancor talk. Um, yeah, the freaking Rancor. God damn. I don't know. It's a mess. The show so far has really been like I'm looking back on like season one of Clone Wars, Rebels, and Mando, and I'm comparing it to those shows' first seasons, which is fair to say, right? It's fair to look back on the first seasons of other Star Wars shows with the same creatives behind them. This show is a severe downgrade. I thought season one of Clone Wars, I didn't think it was the greatest, but compared to this, it's great. Like it's actually pretty solid. Um, season one of Rebels is exponentially better. Season one of Mandalorian is actually some of my favorite Star Wars content. If they didn't make season two, The Mandalorian, if it were to be a movie, it'd be really high up there. I really like season one of Mando um, because at least they tried and they made a cool story and like set up new characters and cool new worlds and stuff. Showed us things in Star Wars that we really haven't seen before on film. And then season two, they go into the fan service stuff. So if they were to like, I don't know, just I'm looking at Bad Batch now and it's like season two of Mando, but without those few episodes that made it watchable. Mando season two had a great opening, um, and then like episode like three, four, five, and seven. I loved those episodes; those were awesome. Um, but then, I mean, fan service aside, they were awesome. But then, and then Bad Batch is like they have one good episode, even that like half of a good episode or three quarters of a good episode, and then it just goes flies off the rails. I'm just not a fan of that. Um, Wrecker hurt his head 3 times in a row. How ridiculous is that? Yeah, this dude's supposed to be like, these are elite clones, and he just bumps his head multiple times. I know people make mistakes, but 3 times? Come on, man. Come on. Um, okay, Diz, now you're pushing your luck. Baby Rancor is not greater than the Empire Strikes Back, even as a joke. Um, I demand you to take that statement back, because if you don't, I will politely say I disagree. Um, this head of the test tube. Oh God. Um, Bad Batch premiere is like the Snyder cut of Star Wars, too long. I think it's fine. They could easily cut it up in like 2 episodes. Um, but I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think the first episode was solid enough. The rest just sort of went off the rails. I don't have much to say in terms of negativity in the first episode. Um, I think the first episode has sets up some cool ideas, um, but then after that, it's you can skip the rest of it. Has Omega grown on me? Um, no, sadly not. I've described Omega before as season one Ahsoka from Clone Wars, but lacking any of the charm and actual growth that made her charming. You know, like that sort of the how her character was treated in Clone Wars was just with great respect and care, and they actually put in the work to make her a good character instead of having her. I don't want to pull the Mary Sue card because, first of all, technically Mary Sue is for fan fiction works, but this is a very overpowered character who starts off being automatically good, and I'm somebody who like I like Ray, I like Luke, I like characters that start off just naturally gifted. I'm perfectly fine with that. What I'm not fine with is the fact that she is constantly outsmarting these. She's a kid. She's like 10. And then she's going up with soldiers that like have been fighting a war for years and were trained from birth to fight. It's strange to me that she's able to rescue them, outsmart them, basically be the one who's always writing situations. It is very strange how they're writing that character. Um, like, and just when she gets captured and stuff, you can't help but think is like she's so smart in some situations, but then that intelligence is completely gone in other situations. And then it just feels like, well, what are they trying to write this character as? Is Omega super smart, super dumb? I don't know. I can't tell. And that kind of bugs me. Um, just sort of the lack of consistency with that. There's just nothing really there that's like, there's nothing there that I can actually think is her personality or an actual character trait. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I guess that's sort of my thoughts. I can't really think of anything about her aside from she is kid character. Um, Got to give a little bit more of a personality than just kid character for me to actually like the character. And so far, sadly, I'm not really liking Omega. Um, at least with Baby Yoda, um, it was an issue. Baby Yoda's a baby. He's like he could be a he could be an animal for all we care, right? Like it doesn't. He could be a pet. Like it's fine. I'm fine with how Baby Yoda was done, right? Aside from that, Baby Yoda is not just generally annoying. Um, he's a cute little baby alien thing. Wouldn't like her anyways. I don't hate kids. I have a channel made for kids, man. Um, but Omega does make me hate kids. I'm kidding. No. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a mess of a show. Anyone else got preferably any non Star Wars related topics they want to talk about? Maybe some Marvel, maybe some I don't know. Just talked about Star Wars a lot recently. Okay, so I wasn't even looking at the chat for half this. Oh my god. You guys went off for a while on the Omega and Rancor jokes. Jeez, man. Jeez. Um, what are my top five MCU films? Uh, okay, this is a tricky one because the MCU for me, most of it sort of rides around the 8 out of 10 ranking for me. So they're all very close in quality. I think most of them are very high quality. Um, I'd actually say around half of the Marvel movies I'd say are actually really, really good movies, like something I would put on again and again. And number one's gonna have to be the Avengers, just the first one, because for me that was kind of like a lifelong dream, seeing like all my favorite heroes. I mean, they became my favorite heroes through just good writing and stuff. But just seeing a bunch of characters I love, um, all on screen together, that was mind blowing. I love that. Number two, I think would be Guardians Volume One. I think that film is really well written. Um, and while it doesn't, it's not like one of those films that makes me like cry and repeat viewings. The first viewing actually did sort of get to me. There are parts of it that are pretty emotional, and the acting supporting those scenes. I think the acting in that film is just really good. Um, the direction is really good. It just feels almost like a James Gunn passion project. Like it's his personality um, shining through. Like I don't know how to fully describe it, but he's you can see it's a James Gunn work, and yeah, it's got a big Marvel budget, but I don't know. I think Guardians is two for me. Three, either Civil War or Winter Soldier. Those for me are very close to each other, very close in quality. I really love the. I think the. Hmm. First off, Civil War. I really like that it's basically like Avengers 2.5, while still being a Captain America story. It's it makes sense. Like a Captain America in the modern age, where he's the leader of the Avengers. Yeah, it makes sense that his like final film in his trilogy would sort of be with the Avengers, right? He's the leader of the Avengers. Um, so it's sort of like how it doesn't make much sense that like in some Phase Two movies, it doesn't really. It seems kind of weird the Avengers don't assemble for those apocalyptic events. You know, it seems a bit strange that like it's one hero going out and fighting the bad guys, even though it's like yeah, basically a world-ending threat. Um, I like that Civil War almost addresses that in a way, not like overtly addressing it, but I think I really like. I just really like that they actually have multiple characters together supporting Captain America's story. Um, I don't know. I just don't know how to describe Civil War. It's really well written. Um, the acting, the music, CGI is a little wonky in some parts, but overall the effects are really good. Um, it's just a solid movie. Winter Soldier is also very solid. Actually, Winter Soldier came out on my birthday. Um, that was a fun experience. Um, yeah, I like Winter Soldier as well. It's just really well written, um, and I like seeing just in contrast to First Avenger. I like seeing. Um, I just sort of like seeing how it's like he goes from like this altruistic, like the goody two shoes character, kind of in First Avenger, and it's a very like morally black and white film. But then in Winter Soldier, it's like they really go into sort of the spy side of things, where it's like you don't know who you can trust. Um, there are moments in the movie where you just really can't tell who's actually going to be the villain and like the bad guys and stuff. And it's like, and then the Bucky twist, it genuinely surprised me. It actually shocked me. Um, so I think those are tied for third place for me. Fourth place would be probably like Infinity War. I really like Infinity War. Um, that's another one where like it's a big film, but it keeps its focus on one character, that being Thanos. I like that it's framed as the hero's journey for Thanos, like a dark inversion of it, where technically yes, he is the villain, but he is the protagonist, and then he wins in the end, and it's technically, if there were any other story with the protagonist being a hero, that would be the happy ending. But no, instead it's actually like a absolutely horrifying scene. And then my fifth favorite Marvel movie. hmm, I'm gonna get hate for this. I think Iron Man 3. I love Iron Man 3. Yeah, I said it. Iron Man 3 is awesome. It's so freaking good. It's like fun. I could just put it on and just have a good time. The music's amazing. The special effects are amazing. The acting's amazing. The writing is hit or miss in some parts, but I don't know. I really like that movie. I think part of it might also just be after the Avengers came out, I was like desperate for any more Marvel content, and I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. But I don't know. I really like Iron Man 3. So I guess my top five right there. So one is Avengers, two is Guardians, three is Winter Soldier and Civil War tied. Um, what was four again? My brain's dying. Infinity War. Yeah. Infinity War, and then Iron Man 3. Um, okay. Scrolling back up. I'm in bed, and my light bulb is still on because my brother is a word I can't say here. Um, should I throw something at the bulb to break it? Um, you do realize eventually somebody is going to have to go in and take out the light bulb, and if it's broken, um, yeah, that's kind of dangerous. Somebody could cut themselves pretty bad. Um, okay. I'd say 13 of them are good, which is a really solid success rate. Yeah, I think I love Star Wars a lot, but in terms of films, I'd consider like a series I consider the most consistent in quality. The MCU is really, really up there. I don't think there are really any other series that are as consistent, unless we talk video games, because then Zelda would be up there. But we're not talking Zelda right now. Um, Infinity War is in your top five. Your opinion's wrong. Guardians of the Galaxy isn't in my top 10. Kind of went a little down for me over the year somehow. Oh, interesting. Okay. Um, I'd like to know why. That's actually interesting. Most people I talk to really enjoy it. So, yeah. Um, Does Infinity thoughts on Endgame? Um, uh, People might disagree. I don't know, but I really liked Endgame. I don't know. I know it's not the greatest film ever made, but I really love it. Um, it was a. I really liked the ending they gave for Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a solid ending. I mean, what? It's not gonna be perfect. You can't be perfect. It's a 22 movie long series. You're gonna end it. You got to end it, right? You got to end that continuing story, and that's how they chose to do it. And I'm cool with what they did to end it. What I'm not cool with are things like them making fun of Thor's depression. Um, that's a bit uncomfortable. Um, I I'm okay with what they did with the Hulk. I didn't think he was great, but I guess it was fine. It's kind of like they had like off-screen development for him. Um, but like I don't know, it's not a deal breaker for me. I still, you know, I still enjoy the film a lot. I just rewatched every Marvel movie recently aside from Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2. Um, but yeah, no, I think overall, when I watched Endgame, it gave me a similar feeling to how I did when I was in the theater, and it was just excitement. It was just like I watched all these movies, and I'm watching the final one. It was a very exciting event. Um, Thoughts on Avatar: The Last Airbender? Shut up. I'm gonna watch it soon, so shut up. Um, okay. Where do I rank Endgame? Where do I rank Endgame? Six, I think. Maybe. Maybe I think maybe sixth place. Yeah. Um, Anyone would like to see added on the MCU? Haven't confirmed yet. Yeah. So anyone I'd like to see added to the MCU that haven't been confirmed yet. Are you talking characters or actors? Um, because in terms of actors, hmm, I know everyone's saying like they want like Keanu Reeves to play like Adam Warlock or something. Um, but I know what I want would be like an actual impossibility. But Johnny Depp, I just like Johnny Depp. I kind of want to see him in a Marvel movie. I wonder how that would go. I know it sounds really random, but let's be real. My brain is a scattered mess. I just want to see something weird and just. It's sort of like how I feel with Star Wars. I just want something new and weird. Thankfully, Marvel it's not in the rut that Star Wars is. Thankfully, but yeah, I really want to see something just weird like that. I don't know. Um, okay, and then characters. Oh, character. Okay, so character. Silence Johnny Depp simps. Yes, I'm a Johnny Depp simp. Kenobi, you can come fight me. Um, yes, characters. Oh, okay, let me think. So obviously, Fantastic Four. I want to see. Um, Obviously, that comes with Doctor Doom. Obviously, I want to see X Men. Um, but I want to see. I have character. So before I wanted to see Wiccan and Speed, which we got in WandaVision. Um, but what I'd like to see, there was okay. I'm trying to think. So Adam Warlock, we haven't seen Adam Warlock yet. Quasar would be cool. Nova, I really want to see Nova. That would be really cool. Um, who else? Um, I'm very excited to see Blade. How they're going to do Blade in the MCU. That's going to be very interesting. Um, who else? Um, Kang the Conqueror. I really want to see Kang. Um, I've been going for an hour now. Oh my god. Yeah, I'd like to see Wolverine. However, I would like for them to. I'm so glad they haven't announced anything X-Men related yet. I want them to wait a while. I want them to just sort of wait and focus on wrapping up the characters we already know, because introducing the X-Men, that's a big universe, right? So if they're going to introduce that much content, I'd like for that to be after they've already sort of cleared the way, right? They're going to be eventually done with Spider-Man, with Wanda, Black Panther, which I think they should. I mean, that's sort of a sad, Chadwick Boseman's passing. I do think they should not continue the Black Panther series, since there would be no real way to pass the torch, since I don't believe they've shot anything with him already. Um, but yes, I think they need to sort of clear the way, um, first, finish what they're doing, and then you get into your X Men and stuff, right? Um, yeah, finish Avengers for the X Men. Yeah, just like get everything out of the way. Then you can go crazy from there. You can do X Men, you can do Fantastic Four, you can do, if they want to retcon Defenders or even reboot them into the MCU. I think that'd be really cool. Um, I'd like to see a continuation of what were they selling up in Guardians 2. They set up like Sylvester Stallone sort of Guardians of the Galaxy group, I guess. I don't know. That'd be really cool. Maybe show us more of like the sorcerers and stuff. Show us like the different sort of masters of each sanctum. Maybe give us, I don't know. I think just something like that would be cool. I want to see more of like the Doctor Strange world. I want to see more like the sorcerers and how like the multiverse works and stuff. I don't know. That would be really cool. Um, I don't know how Black Panther 2 will be, but I'm not very excited at the moment. I don't, yeah, I can't really say I want them to do a Black Panther 2. I'm fine with that Ryan Coogler, what is it, like the Wakanda series on Disney Plus. I'm actually fine with that. I think that'd be cool. Um, I'd like to just sort of see if they almost framed it as just like maybe there's like different people in Wakanda, and it just sort of focuses on like how each person in Wakanda is their own sort of hero. I don't know. I think that just be, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think they could do it in a really cool way. They just sort of make it like they're showing different sides of Wakanda, showing the different tribes. Maybe like, I don't know. I think that'd be a really cool series. Black Panther 2 is not one that I think they should or even could do properly. Um, and I have a lot of faith in Marvel, but I really don't think they could do that just given the circumstance. And attempting it, I'm not sure is the wise choice, because if they completely mess it up, well, then that's kind of part of the legacy of Chadwick Boseman right there, is Wakanda, the cultural impact of Wakanda. Um, so just doing that, and if they screw up, well, then that could screw up a lot more than just the Black Panther IP, and that's messing up something that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. Um, okay, next comments. Only space for one superior T here. Um, I think they could do multiple different series of superhero sort of crossover events. They just have to be careful. They can't, if they're going to have multiple series running concurrently, um, they do need to branch out. They do need to try to find the word here. They need to experiment, right? Um, because if they do the same style continually, then it'll get a little samey. And we don't want Marvel to get samey, especially when they're doing so much, because then it gets boring, and then that's when the IP starts to die off, um, which is what's happening with Star Wars. And I'd hate for Marvel, another series that I love, to go down that same route. Um, so yeah. Um, what else? Just don't recast Charlie Cox, Daredevil, and Kingpin. I haven't seen Daredevil. I've been meaning to start it for a while, but I don't know. I'll check it out at some point. Uh, have faith in Ryan Coogler, just like Taika. Yeah, no, I definitely trust Ryan Coogler. I'm just not sure because a director can only fix so much about a story, right? Because he's more than likely not writing the story. I don't even believe he wrote the story for Black Panther. So it's got to be, it's on the writers with this one. They got to make it work. Um, have I seen a smaller TV show projects like Agents of Shield and Carter? I started watching Agents of Shield years ago, and I really couldn't get into it. I don't know. I don't know. I just was. I'm not. I don't really watch TV. Um, yeah, I don't really watch TV. I'm more of a movie guy. Um, I couldn't really get into Agents of Shield, and I didn't check out Agent Carter, though I've heard from a friend recently that actually it's really good. So I'm considering checking it out. I'm considering checking out Agents of Shield now. Um, yeah, 51 season one of Carter, pretty decent. Okay, okay, I'll check it out. Um, yeah, I don't know that series. I mean, it takes place in the 50s, right? And I'm a history nerd. I like my favorite sort of era of history to discuss is the post World War II era, right? Like the 1945 to like 1990. Just that period of time there, I think, is very interesting. We can even cut that even a little earlier. Cut that to 1980, right? It's just a very interesting period in history, and if the show is really good, um, then yeah, I'll check it out, and I hope they sort of go into because I can imagine Peggy Carter would be involved with Shield, right? Hey, Rowan, how's it going? Um, yeah, I'd like to see. I just like to see like Cold War MCU. I think that'd be interesting. Um, Carter, you think is better than Agents of Shield? Okay, it's interesting. Okay. Um, and then what other? Did they do any other series for Marvel on ABC? Because I know they did those two, and then I know they did like the Netflix shows. But did they do anything else on ABC? Got pinged like twice right now. Jeez. Um, Marvel basically retcon Agents of Shield by putting all the big stuff in movies and just. Oh, that's unfortunate. So Ron, we're just sort of, people are just sort of asking my thoughts on things, and we're just sort of having a discussion about, how these things are. I don't know, Star Wars, Marvel, that kind of stuff. Um, oh, so it's not even canon. Well, that sucks. Ultimate Spider-Man. Saw one episode of that. Um, didn't like it. I don't know. It just seems sort of feel weird saying this because it's a show on like Disney XD, right? Um, seemed very immature. I know it sounds very strange to say, but it seemed a little too goofy. I don't know. Spider-Man can be goofy, but that was just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Um, but what was the series? Spectacular Spider-Man. I did watch that. I thought that was cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. I actually think so here's what so this is actually kind of something interesting. I've looked into this. It seems that Sony doesn't own the rights for a live action Spider-Man series. So we could theoretically see a world where Disney makes a Disney Plus series about Spider-Man with Tom Holland. If they did that, I would I would be very happy because I don't like the idea that Spider-Man is could potentially at any moment just sort of be thrown out of the MCU because Sony is able to do whatever the hell they want. This Ultimate Spider-Man, it had the earliest version of Spider-Verse that I'm aware of. I think they did some comic crossovers and stuff. Like, did they have like the was like Spider-Man Noir and Spider Gwen and stuff? Um, Spider-Man was a good afternoon cartoon. Nothing else. Do you think they should make new Gravity Falls content or leave it how it is? Ooh, that's an interesting one. I really like Gravity Falls. I thought that was a really cool show. Um, that's a tough one. That's a real That's a really tough one to answer because I know Alex Hirsch. He said he didn't want to. So he left. He left Disney. He's doing his own stuff now. I know that, and I know he said like the story's over. That being said, they did kind of leave off on somewhat of a mystery with that Bill Cipher statue, right? Like the petrified Bill. I don't know. I don't know. I think if they want to tackle it like 10 or 20 years from now and like have some crazy new revival or something, I think that would be really awesome. I definitely watch that because that would almost like I don't know if they continue that world and stuff long after everyone gets older and all that, right? I think that'd be very interesting. Um, the OG 60 Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man. It has its moments. It has its moments. It's kind of crazy. Thoughts on Eternals? A lot of people have been excited for the Eternals, and now based on the teaser, they're judging it. It'll be boring. Despite that, it looks different. I think it's beautiful so far. I agree. I think so. Trailers are designed to just sort of be. So that's a teaser trailer, right? That's all that's come out so far. Just a teaser. That's just supposed to. Hmm, it's just supposed to get you a little bit hyped for it. It's supposed to start the Twitter trends and stuff, right? I don't know internet things. Um, it's supposed to get the ball rolling in terms of the marketing, right? So a teaser trailer is not the full trailer. I know the teaser trailer for what movie am I thinking of? There's teaser trailers for some movies that are just not really good, not that exciting. You know, I don't think the teaser for Doctor Strange was the greatest, but the actual trailer was awesome. You know, the teaser for Guardians of the Galaxy, stylistically, in terms of actual like tone, is really nothing like the actual or the Guardians 2, sorry, is really nothing like the actual film. It's very different than the actual film. They tried to like basically play off the cultural impact of the first movie. So I don't know. I think we shouldn't judge a teaser, at least a movie based off its teaser trailer, because that's not the full movie yet. It hasn't come out. It hasn't, you know. I think at that point you just sort of wait and you just sort of see how it goes. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I mean, until we actually see the movie, we won't know. I think visually it looks pretty interesting. The like sort of higher contrast. It looks more. This is looking like it's going to be a bit of a more serious Marvel movie, and I'm kind of interested in that. Um, except for that one Avengers joke at the end. That was a weird. That was a weird line. I didn't really need to see that in the trailer. I know it's in the MCU. It says Marvel's Eternals. I don't need to know it's in the same universe. You don't need to remind me. Um, but I think the trailer was kind of cool. Had some cool music. Um, and I mean, just going off what the Eternals are in the comics, they're kind of like Greek gods in Marvel. They're Greek gods, but they're like aliens, right? That's like that's some ancient aliens History Channel stuff, right? Um, so I don't know. I don't know. Um, Miles Morales Spider Man, an Ultimate Spider Man. I think that's pretty cool. Love Gravity Falls, but think it's good as is. I could agree with that. I could agree with that. Based on what he said on Twitter, he's definitely done with Disney, which kills all hope for new Gravity Falls content. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because remember, Disney owns the show, right? Um, and Disney, as much as I like Disney movies and stuff, Disney content. I have a Disney themed YouTube channel. I'm I'm not gonna say they're not exactly altruistic. They're not gonna they don't always make the greatest decisions, right? So I could see them potentially reviving it if the demand is there, regardless of what Alex Hirsch wants. Sadly, um, which would be kind of dirty to do. How are you feeling about the multiverse of madness? Going off, we had one division to lead up for it. I think multiverse of madness could actually be really cool. Yeah, so what I think. So I know there's some production troubles with this, right? They switched out directors. Scott Derrickson left the project because he wants to take it in a darker direction. So then they got in Sam Raimi, um, and then WandaVision as well. I wasn't at all a fan of the finale for WandaVision. I thought that was a mess. Um, that being said, um, how WandaVision ended with Wanda becoming basically all powerful. We don't know the limits of her power now, right? Before she could like be defeated and stuff, but now it's sort of like she's doing things out of nowhere that we've never seen before. Like she's clearly had some time to like practice with her magic and stuff, right? So I could see it where like she's maybe on some level a threat, and Doctor Strange has to sort of confront her. Cringe vision, yeah, it was great for a while, and then it sort of dropped the ball at the end. I don't think it like really fell into like really bad territory. I don't really think it fell into like anything offensive, but I don't think it was. It really dipped. That's all I can say. It just really went off the rails. Um, and I do genuinely think the first 5 episodes were like amazing. Like I was really excited for when a new episode to come out, and then 6 was okay. 7 did the one thing I didn't want it to do, and then 8 and 9 really bugged me. But I guess it sort of is what it is now. The damage is done, so I can't really complain. I guess it is a shame though. Um, Anybody got anything else they want to sort of talk about? Do you think they're going to bring back the kids? Do you think they're just there as fan service? No, I genuinely think they're going to bring them back. Wiccan and Speed, they're going to be back. They're definitely setting up the next this series of Avengers. I know they have Cassie Lang, right? And I think they even recast her for Ant Man and the Wasp, or I guess Ant Man 3. Um, Quantumania. It's a weird name. I think it's kind of cool. It's weird, but I like it. Um, Cassie Lang, and they're going with like I think she said like she's playing Stature or something, which is interesting, right? Stature, she grows like to, she's like Giant Man, right? She just grows super huge, and then when she's small, she's Stinger, right? So Young Avengers, that would be really cool to have like Stature and Stinger. Um, then Wiccan and Speed, they're going to age up. They already aged up before. They're just going to age them up again. Um, what was that? There was another one that could like somewhat shapeshift. I remember. Don't remember his name. But I remember there's one that can shapeshift. Which, yeah, I think if they start introducing the younger sort of heroes, right? If Disney hopefully works out a contract with Sony to do more Spider-Man things, because I truly am perfectly fine with Marvel continuing Spider-Man in the MCU. I'm perfectly fine if it like stays forever. I'm actually cool with that. Um, as long as they don't put him in other things too much and give him mostly his own stories, or maybe keep him to smaller stories. I don't know. Um, but if they have it as like Spider-Man, sort of the next Avengers leader or something, and then you got Kate Bishop, you got Stature slash Stinger, you got Wiccan and Speed, you got the shapeshifting guy. I forget his name still, sadly. I think that'd be really cool. That's sort of what I'm getting the vibes of, anyways, from the MCU. Who knows? They could go in a completely different direction. Um, Ralph Boner is top tier comedy. I laughed. Okay, that was a dumb scene, but I laughed. I don't know. My sense of humor is so juvenile. It's so, I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Um, they were to revive Gravity Falls. I want it to be a miniseries like Adventure Time, Distant Lands, maybe something about uh, Stanford and Stanford and the other and Old Dipper and Mabel. I think that would be cool if they maybe even like a limited run thing. Just a few episodes, just something. I don't know. I think that could be cool. I don't want them going full on season 3. Because the season 2, like the series finale, was already very conclusive. They don't need to continue it from there. Um, yeah, I agree, Diz. I agree with Diz and Rowan. Hey, Rando, how's it going? Um, yeah, What else? What else do you guys want to talk about? I probably head off in like half an hour, maybe an hour. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I'll keep going as you guys want, but just don't keep me here until like 3 in the morning. I could do that, but I don't want to. Yeah. Anybody got like thoughts on like the Disney parks and stuff, like with the Avengers and Star Wars stuff? Because I'm doing fine, Diz. I'm fine. Sorry, doing fine, Rando. How? God, that's awkward. Jesus, I hate that I can't edit afterwards. What time is it here? 8:31. Um, it's weird not being able to edit my what I'm recording right now. I could do that. The regular video can't do that here. It's kind of awkward. Avengers Campus looks sick. I agree. Guessing over just like tours of the land and stuff, and I'm excited that I'm probably going to be going next year. Um, yeah, man, that's exciting. Uh, yeah, like I think so. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but like the Avengers land, it takes place in like a timeline where like Thanos' snap didn't happen, like they successfully beat Thanos or something like that. I don't know, or maybe like this is before, or maybe Thanos just never ended up achieving his goal. I don't fully know. Um, I think it would actually be really cool though if they took the Galaxy's Edge approach and actually made it canon to the main MCU timeline. I think that would be a much cooler thing they could do. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. I know they want to have Iron Man and stuff there, but like his suits still exist. I don't know. They could do something interesting like that. Um, that could be a way they could do a Black Panther story, I guess, without having to have having to have Chadwick Boseman there. I think that would just be a good way to sort of they would have it set in the main continuity. I think that'd be really good. And then as well, um, everyone knows who Spider-Man is, right? So if you're doing meet and greets and somebody says you're Peter Parker, they can avoid the issues of that because in the MCU, people know that Spider-Man's Peter Parker now. I think it just would work a bit better if it was in the main timeline. Where they killed baby Thanos. Oh god, that would be jeez. Would that even work though with like what they established in Endgame, right? Because like didn't they say like they can't change their past. They can only like make branch timelines and then take things back with them to the future, I guess. Back to the future. Um yeah, Diz going there next year. Oh my god, Diz, by that point, you're gonna become like a mainstay like Disney YouTuber, man. That's exciting stuff, man. Whoever here is not subscribed to Diz, subscribe to him. He makes awesome stuff. Um Rando, you're eating ice cream. What kind of ice cream? Um my worry that Loki ends up like WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. Um so I wasn't so I don't really have much issues with Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm fine with the show. Um so that's not much for me to worry with that. When I'm WandaVision, I would be worried. But then here's the thing as well. WandaVision is set in the main MCU timeline where they're going to be setting up future stories in that main world, right? So they are obviously very concerned with they're going to be concerned with how it affects the greater universe, right? So if they're going to go in, they can't really go into a crazy experimental sort of direction. Loki, on the other hand, it's set in a whole other reality, and it's about the god of mischief. I think they have an opportunity where it would almost be hard to miss the opportunity right there with going in a crazy experimental direction. They almost in a way have to be experimental with it, and I think that sort of that forces creativity, that forces new storytelling, and because it's in another reality, you don't have to worry about its grander effects, so they can really do whatever if they wanted to. At the end of it, they could kill off Loki. They could have Loki flat out murder people. They could have him as a full on villain in that show. They can do whatever they want, and I'm just sort of excited what direction they're going to go, because that's how Loki's character is. mischievous. You don't know which side he's on, right? In the first Thor movie, there's times where you think he's good, times you think he's bad, and then Avengers, he's completely bad, but you can sort of say that was probably because the Mind Stone is affecting him. And Thor: The Dark World, there are moments where you think he's still bad. I don't know, like yeah, I think they could really do something interesting with the Loki series. Uh, Oreo ice cream. Ah, that's cool. You know what? After the stream, I'm probably gonna go out and get some ice cream myself. That sounds yeah, you're making me want ice cream, Rento. I'm trying to eat healthier, man. I'm kidding. You have high hopes for Loki. I have nothing else to watch. That's fair. That's fair. Kind of in a dry area for content right now, right? Because they couldn't really film anything last year. Not too excited for Loki. Well, that's unfortunate. I, you know what? As sad as it might sound, keeping your expectations low is a good way to have your expectations surpassed. So I mean, your expectations are already low. Who knows? It could surprise. It could be really cool. Um, I know my thoughts for Solo were very low, and if you've talked to me about Solo, you know I really love Solo. Um, I'm in the minority with that, but I really love Solo, and I'd be perfectly fine with seeing a sequel. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Loki, I have kind of high hopes. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It looks from the looks of the trailers, it looks nuts. Um, yeah, Bad Batch. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Rando. Bad Batch really wasn't really. I'm really not a fan of it, sadly, and I feel kind of sadly. It's like sad saying that. Like it's I don't know. My sister got some KFC earlier, and I hadn't had it in a while. 2 weeks maybe, but yeah, after that I was done with KFC since then. Now you're making me want KFC, man. Keep your expectations low for any upcoming Disney Plus series. Yeah, I think for the next little while, the studios that Lucasfilm normally produces series for either syndicated television or movies, right? They're probably not used to streaming, right? Um, Nor is Marvel with. I mean, Marvel Studios has never made a TV show like ever. There are shows that are apparently canon to the MCU, but they're not made by Marvel Studios until WandaVision. So I can imagine the creatives over at Marvel are just trying to find their groove. For a little while, yeah, there's going to be some hiccups and stuff. I mean, I know early on with the MCU there's some hiccups, but they're eventually going to find their groove, and I assume just like their movies, they're going to do really well. And that's probably going to be a little while from now. I think if they land Loki, I think they'll know how. I think they'll know how to do things. Um, KFC is like crack. It's addictive. That's yeah, it is. Um, so I dip some nice in the chicken and some KFC gravy. Yes, man. Hello, I'm Omega. Omega, yeah, right. Thanks for reminding me about that. Um, Never have good expectations for shows, but Loki looks interesting. Yeah, I mean that's sort of how I am. Like I'm not a TV guy. I'm a movie guy. So it's just I'm excited to see how they handle Loki. If they do that well, I think we're in good hands. Um, and if they don't, then I'll be pretty disappointed. But nonetheless, I expect they're probably going to do well with this. Oh, Omegas. Is that like a? Oh, it's Among Us. Oh, um, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to like ban you from the stream. I'm kidding. Yes, when redacted for spoilers and redacted for spoilers showed up in the new episode of Rowan, I also wanted to scream. I was actually really upset with that. I that annoyed me. That really annoyed me. It was right after like 5 other episodes of just nonstop fan service, and then they do that. It just really bugged me. We had WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. I kind of want to go back to the movie routine twice a year. Less content, better quality, enough with the Disney Plus crap. Yes, and I'm very happy that things are getting better with COVID and they can finally get back to what we want to see. I'm happy. I'm happy that Thor: Love and Thunder wrapped filming. Um, I think what else wrapped filming? Spider-Man wrapped filming a while ago. That movie's coming out in December. I'm just so hyped, right? Got Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man. 4 movies in 1 year. I mean, it might be, some might say it's a bit much, but after, I mean, think about this, right? Some of those movies had already been around, like already been made for a while, right? So it's not they have too many eggs in their basket. It's it's more just like making up for the lack of stuff in 2020. Like I don't know. I'm very excited this year. Like when Black Widow comes out, I am very excited. I'm so excited. Um, yeah, I'm just oh god, I'm so hyped. Um, see if I can like see it in theaters and get the premiere access too, so that I can like maybe stream it or I don't know, do something. Maybe a movie night. Maybe a movie night on my server. I don't know. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know. Confidential information there. At least Mando season 2 had characters I actually cared about, even if who season? Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. I really think Bad Batch is even worse than because Mando, at least, right? It had I mean, the characters returning were like Bo-Katan. We love Bo-Katan, right? Ahsoka. I know Shady loves Bo-Katan, right? We had Ahsoka. Um, Luke, and I mean, even though I didn't really like having any of them there, I mean, it was those are characters I like, so at least I could sort of get that joy of like, hey, at least I know these characters, at least it's cool. But I don't, I don't care about anyone that's appeared in Bad Batch so far, not at all. Like, I mean, I know this isn't a spoiler because this isn't a trailer, but Tarkin, yeah, it's cool seeing Tarkin. Um, that's about it. That's about it. Everyone else, I don't really want to see there. Um, it's just the Disney Plus technology they use for the TV show is not very certain about anymore. That's fair. Are you talking about like the wraparound screens for like Mando? Or, I mean, like yeah, I know like style and stuff. Yeah, that's like they can be hit or miss, I guess, in style. Yeah, I don't know. Like I would like to get back to high quality movies produced by Disney. I people in my course were watching Cruella the other night, and yeah, apparently it's not that good, which has to be expected. I gave up on the remakes with Lion King. Um, I think one of my earliest videos is a review for Aladdin. Um, but I took that one down because I don't agree with any of my points anymore. Um, Nor do I want to make a video sort of um, explaining my thoughts on the film because I don't want to think about Aladdin because I don't think it's the live action. I don't think it's good anymore. It was just off the high of seeing it, right? I'm very nostalgic for Aladdin, right? It's one of my favorite movies. So seeing it remade, I guess, like I don't know, it was. I liked hearing the music again. I like the new tracks they did. I thought it was cool. And then with Lion King after, I just sort of took a step back and realized this is the same thing again. Why are we getting the exact same thing over and over again? And then I don't know what else. What else did they do? They did the Lady and the Tramp thing. My dog's name is Lady. That's how much I love Lady and the Tramp. Right? Didn't check that out. Um, what else? I think that I think that and Cruella are the only one like live action remakes they've done recently. But I know they've got Little Mermaid. They got Little Mermaid. They got Peter Pan. They got Snow White. They got remakes for freaking everything. They're making sequels to the remakes now. Like, can we take a step back and just sort of relax with this? I don't want to see movies I've already seen before just done again, but with fancier graphics. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's just the Disney Plus technology. Yes, like Mando. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That's okay. Yeah, Ahsoka. That's fair. I can agree with that. Um, Anything that hasn't disappointed me lately. That's well, Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't disappoint me. I like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought that was solid enough. I didn't think it was the greatest. I thought it was like mid tier MCU. That being said, I'm trying to think what else has come out that hasn't disappointed me. Mm, I don't know. I can't think really of. There hasn't been much released anyways that I'm interested in. So there's nothing I'm already hyped for, right? Um, so it's not like I'm being really disappointed for anything else that I've seen. But I mean, the Disney Plus stuff, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by it. I'm really trying to think what came out. I don't know. I think Falcon or Soldier is the only one I wasn't disappointed by. I don't know. I feel sad saying that because I really was hyped for these things. But yeah, no, I as negative and as unfortunate it is, yeah, wasn't too happy with the stuff they're coming out with. Will Smith is the best actor, YouTuber, rapper, film producer. He's a very prolific guy. He's done a lot of stuff. Um, I have a lot of respect for Will Smith. I mean, I don't think many of his films are great um, outside of cinematic masterpiece Shark Tale. But then an actual film I really like, Men in Black. Can't really think of much movies of his that I really like, but he's got that like charm to him. I don't know. Like even if you don't like what he's in, you're gonna like him because he's Will Smith, right? How can you not like Will Smith? Um, oh, that's hot. That is hot. All right, these traditional green screens and tech for Mando. Uh, for me, I'd say this is like I don't know. So this is more into the technical things, and I guess I'm fine with I actually kind of like the reprojection style. So that's a trick that's technically existed since the early days of film. They would film a background and then have actors in front of it. That's why older movies have weird looking car driving scenes because they would project the background on top because then you'd be able to get reflections on the actors and stuff. That being said, this one is more advanced, obviously, because it matches the parallax of the camera to be able to create depth, right? So from the perspective of the camera, it looks like there's mountains in the distance and stuff that actually move accurately with how the camera would move. So I'm personally fine with it. I can sort of see where, yeah, it might not look great, but I think it's just sort of a hiccup as of yet. I don't think it's. I think it works enough. It'll be refined later on. I believe. I believe there's like a film studio being built here that's going to be having something like that. Like not obviously not to that extent, but there's going to be like a reprojection soundstage. People from my course are probably going to be working at, so that's going to be cool. Um, but yeah, I don't. I think yeah, that's an interesting take on it. I guess because greens, I guess they're sort of like tools, right? Like you can tools are yeah, you're gonna have your tools that are very effective for one thing, but might not be very effective for other things. So I guess with like green screen and stuff, I think those are effective for like scenic shots. Um, and then the reprojection thing I think would be better for fights. Maybe that would be I guess that would sort of be it. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I just think yeah, they do have to strike some sort of balance with what they use. You can't use you can't really I mean you could use in theory a wrench to like put in like a regular screw, right? It's not going to be effective though. It's better to use um, it's better to use a drill. Um, so yeah, people like Tarkin, Rex, and whatever those characters in episode two, it makes sense for them to show up, but I don't need a backstory for F and Rancor. Yes, that made me mad. The Rancor. Oh man, whew, yeah, yeah. They didn't need to do that. That was oh boy. um, no, nice watching. Yeah, it's good having you here, man. I hope you have a good night. Um, yeah. Anybody else got questions, comments, anything you want to Rancor trilogy? All right, I'm banning you. I'm banning you. You're gone. No, that rancor thing was just whew, I didn't need that. I didn't need that at all. Um, at this point, I'd like really, I'd kill for just something new, anything new. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? Nobody. Okay, I guess I'll call it for a night. Um, thanks for watching, for everyone here. Um, we'll try and do these more. I mean, this is pretty. Oh, Star Wars needs Nick Gilligan against Swordmaster and some coordinator from the prequels. Depends on the context, I guess. Um, I think it really depends on the context. But the prequels, it makes sense because they this is the Jedi at their prime. Unless you're going to do a story of the Jedi at their prime, I don't think they should do that. If they're going to have prequel style lightsaber fights when there's nobody who would have properly trained them with a lightsaber, then that would be very out of place. Um, even still, I'm not the biggest fan of the prequel lightsaber fights in the first place. Um, but yeah, if it's the Jedi in their prime, it's like they're trying to remind you're watching uh, that you're in fact watching Star Wars. Yes, it's that's yes, actually that's the perfect way of describing it. Um, that's the perfect way of describing it. It's like Lucasfilm is trying to like remind us we're watching Star Wars, even though the blasters and spaceships and aliens didn't give that away. It's so weird. Like I don't need to see the same characters return all the time. Like I don't know. It's a mess. I hope they fix that stuff going forward, but I don't know. Anyone else? Before I head out and get some ice cream. Actually, I'll probably stay on until 9 my time, just a little bit longer. Well, yeah, Ray swinging her lightsaber, like, it may make sense. She's fought with a bow staff, and I mean, let's be real. If you're gonna have if the heavier combat bow staffs that you'd use, they are more like a double bladed bow staff, I guess. Um, so I'm fine with Ray. I'm fine with Kylo fighting the way they do. I'm actually fine with every lightsaber fight in the originals and sequels. Um, aside from maybe the lightsaber fight in the Rise of Skywalker, where they're on the Death Star, I think that's a little bit wonky in the sense that they had at least with Ray, she had a year to train, um, and she has like the old Jedi text and stuff, which would have information from the Jedi before, so it makes sense that she would be able to fight a bit better. But I think it works fine. Um, yeah, and then Luke at the end of Mando, like that kind of makes sense, but it also kind of goes against what we see in the original trilogy. Like he's doing some really like over the top stuff in that, whereas in the original, it's more like he's actually swinging a sword. Um, and I prefer when Star Wars takes the angle of like realism in terms of the fight, some gravity, some weight to things. All right, Diz, yeah, you have a good night, man. Um, yeah, I don't know. Anybody got anything else? Yes, thank you, everybody. Everybody here, you're all awesome. You're all You are all awesome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to me ramble about things that you probably don't care too much. All right. Yep. You have a good night. Uh, everybody, everybody have fun. I think I'll just end this here. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe because I mean I'm desperate for subscribers. Um, I'm working on another video. Gotta film. Y'all are gonna love this. I'm gonna film something crazy this weekend. Oh, hey Alien, you're using your school account. Big sad. Yeah, well, Alien, I'm just wrapping up here. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, everyone who subscribed, y'all are cool. Y'all are cool. All right, I'm gonna head out. I hope you all have a great night.